IVM.
Let's talk about Albert Einstein. Why? Because we all know that the man was a genius. And when a genius speaks, we listen. Einstein famously called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He wisely added that he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. This, my friends, highlights how compounding can turn small regular contributions into significant sums over the time, underscoring the importance of long-term investment and saving. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paritosh Anand and I'd like to welcome you to Finance Flashback, brought to you by ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. This is the show where we explore how lessons from the past can shape a better financial future. Today, we're diving into the power of compounding by checking out some examples from back in the day to see how this concept can help us plan our finances better today. Back to Albert Einstein's eighth wonder of the world, compounding. This phenomena is truly powerful, especially when you look at the potential growth of your money by reinvesting your earnings, be it interest or profits or capital gains. Also known as the snowball effect, compounding can help even small, regular contributions to grow potentially over the time. Think of it like planting a tree. With care and patience, it grows bigger and stronger, offering more benefits each year. Embracing the concept of compounding is essential in one's financial journey. You might have heard your grandparents or parents talking about it all the time, like letting go of a piece of land or some stocks because they didn't realize their future value. Well, what they essentially missed out on was the power of compounding. Now let's look beyond your personal anecdotes and delve into some historical examples that demonstrate what Mr. Einstein and many other wise individuals have been trying to convey for centuries. Consider Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, who often credits his fortune to the power of compound interest. He started his investment journey at a very young age. And instead of spending his money on latest gadgets or fancy clothes, he invested in stocks and other ventures. Here is where the power of compounding comes into play. Every time Warren Buffett made money from his investments, he reinvested those earnings. Over the years, those investments grew because he constantly reinvested his returns and achieved better returns. His wealth didn't just grow, it multiplied. By the 1960s, he had already amassed a significant fortune, but he didn't stop there. What started as modest sums turned into a multi-billion-dollar fortune by the 2000s. So, when you hear about Warren Buffett's success, remember it's not just about making smart investments. It's about letting time and compounding work their magic. Through patience and reinvestments, he transformed small amounts of money into an enormous fortune, showcasing the game-changing power of compounding in building wealth. Now, while Warren Buffett's approach involved direct investment in stocks, the power of compounding is equally accessible to everyone through mutual funds as well. These funds pool money from many investors with similar investment objectives to invest in a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and other securities. By regularly investing in mutual funds, even with small amounts, through the SIP or systematic investment plan, you can harness the power of compounding. The returns generated by the scheme can be reinvested to purchase additional units. Over the years, these additional units generate their own returns, which are again reinvested. This cycle of reinvesting earnings can significantly amplify your wealth, much like how Warren Buffett reinvested his earnings to build his fortune. His success story is a testament to this compounding power, and you too can harness it to potentially grow your wealth in the long run and achieve your big financial dreams. While Warren Buffett is a standout example, often cited when discussing the power of compounding, he wasn't the first to discover this amazing financial tool. Well, let me tell you about Venice, a city that brilliantly understood and leveraged the power of compounding to become incredibly wealthy. Picture Venice back in the days, the Middle Ages. Around the 9th century, ideally located for trade between Europe and East, Venice capitalized on this strategic position. Venetian merchants began making money by trading valuable goods like salt, spices, silk, and precious metals. Instead of merely spending their profits, they reinvested them into their business, their ships, and the city's infrastructure. Over the years, these reinvestments started to pay off big time. By the 12th century, Venice had transformed into a major financial hub. They were pioneers in their time, developing advanced banking practices such as issuing promissory notes and establishing state-controlled debt markets. These innovations made them even wealthier. The Venetian government also reinvested the taxes collected from these thriving merchants, and this cycle of continuous reinvestment allowed their trading networks to expand and their financial institutions to become more sophisticated. By the 15th century, Venice was not just one of the richest but also one of the most powerful states in Europe. Let's round this off by talking about yet another brilliant mind, Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin, a true Renaissance man of the 18th century, not only excelled in various fields but also grasped and utilized the power of compounding throughout his life. Among his many innovations, Franklin introduced the concept of sinking fund, demonstrating his foresight in financial management. Franklin's approach to compounding was not just about accumulating wealth. It was about aiming for financial stability for the future. In his will of 1790, Franklin earmarked £1,000 each to Boston and Philadelphia, with strict instructions to not touch the funds for 200 years. Despite occasional withdrawals for civic projects, the funds grew exponentially, and by the 1990s, thanks to compound interest, reaching millions. This vividly illustrates the tree and snowball analogies we discussed earlier. Franklin applied the same philosophy to personal development, emphasizing daily improvements in knowledge, virtue, and productivity for lasting success. His wisdom in saving and investing over time remains pertinent today. Whether in finances or personal growth, the essence of compounding lies in consistency and patience. By making disciplined efforts consistently, whether saving and investing regularly or committing to continuous learning and self-improvement, you can achieve significant results over the long term. So remember, whether you're planning for retirement, investing in education, or starting a business, harnessing the power of compounding can transform small steps today into substantial rewards tomorrow. It's about laying the foundation for a future where your investments work diligently for you. That's it for today's episode of Finance Flashback. Instead of spending that $500 that you've set aside for coffee, consider investing it wisely. With the power of compounding, that sum could grow into a considerable amount by the time you retire, affording you that fancy coffee machine and much more. This is Paritosh signing off. See you next time. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
IVM